Yeah, we see it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Yanks of the Cop. We are here for the final round of the group stages. Liverpool come away with a 1-1 draw against Midtjylland at Midtjylland, and we're on to the knockout stages. I'm your host, Stevie, along with my brother, Scans, and our buddy, Wahomie. Fellas, how we doing?
Knockout stages, man. Knockout stages.
Knockout stages. So excited about that. Everyone tuning in, we really appreciate you guys. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Leave your comments in the comment section. We'd love to post it, talk about it, especially who you have and who you would rather play in the round of six, the knockout round. So, guys, let's get right into it. I think we were all pretty surprised about that starting lineup. I think we all expected it to be a little bit more youth heavy than it was. But what did you guys overall think? I mean, Salah started, Trent started, Fabinho, saw Keita back. What were you guys' thoughts of the starting lineup that Klopp went with?
I think for me, I was shocked. I think especially the fact that Salah played 91 minutes, that really shocked me. Because we've obviously Klopp's been complaining about the 5 substitutions for weeks now. And I just felt like in a dead rubber match, I don't understand why he played the whole game or nearly the whole game, or why I risked him today. I know he scored, but it's because if he got injured, then we would have been up the paddle. The same thing like Fabinho. I don't understand why they needed to play. Obviously, I get it. It's a Champions League game. You didn't want to get smashed in the Champions League, but even still, I was expecting more younger players to have started. Because they're eligible because they're part of the Champions League squad. So I was surprised that none of them, except for only 3, actually featured. So that surprised me. But who am I to question Klopp? But that surprised me, was honestly.
Yeah, I think my whole thing is that, I think this sounds very hypocritical, to be honest. I mean, I love Jurgen Klopp. He's, my favorite manager in the world. The stuff he's done for Liverpool has been immense. But, us supporters or we supporters and the manager have been very vocal about giving the players rest, whether that's through substitutions or the space between games. And he finally has this opportunity to rest the players for about a week. And we see Fabinho playing. We see Salah playing and Jota. So it's just it didn't really make sense for me. We have 3 matches in the next 7 days. We play Fulham, Spurs, and Palace. And in between Spurs and Palace, we play Spurs Wednesday evening and then Palace, I think it's Saturday at 12:30, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a quick turnaround. And, Salah's been on 90 minutes for the past few games against Ajax and Wolves as well as today. Fabinho, he's been, I think he's played 90 the past 4 games as well. I know he played 45 today, but that's a lot of minutes coming up on 2 guys that you're really reliant upon for the next few games, which are essential to the season.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to be most of the U23s. Really surprised that we saw, the guys who played play today, but I mean, it worked. No major injuries for the starter, so I'm not going. So you can't really complain about that. But no, I mean, I completely agree. I mean, Klopp's really been the most vocal guy so far, and most vocal coach about the lack of substitutions and the fixture congestion and all this. And then the one opportunity that you elect to play Mo on 91 minutes. So I mean, that was really the biggest head scratcher for me, is why Mo played 91 minutes. I mean, I would fully understand if you took him off at the 60-minute mark, something like that. Seemed a little bit reckless in my opinion, but hey, listen, it worked out. I'm glad that a guy like Gini Wijnaldum got to rest the entire game. I'm glad that Sadio Mane really only came in for the last, +8 of extra time. So ultimately, he may have gotten away with it, but I would have liked to see a little bit more rotation. But
even then, I don't understand those changes. Why do you have to bring on Mane late? Why does Trent play 90? It's his first game back. Put Nico Williams in for the second half. It's a game that doesn't matter at all. That's what I don't understand. I mean, was he going for the win? Is it a money thing? Because I saw somebody tweet out that because we drew, we only made 900,000 euros, and if we won, we would have made 3 million euros or something like that. So maybe that's what it's coming down to. I don't know. It just seems very, very strange to me.
Yeah, same to me. That's what I didn't get. And I think even most of people like Jamie Pearce and Leach were saying as well, they were surprised with the lineup as well, that he went really strong. I was, like I said, I'm just like you guys, I'm baffled by it.
Did you see Pearce's tweet? about what Klopp said after the game?
No, well, I didn't see that. What did he say?
He said, so this is Klopp saying this. He said, you can make changes, but you need a few key positions. That's why Fabinho played in the decision for Mo, who looked fine, and that's why we didn't take him off. He had no issues. But, I mean, it just kind of goes against everything that he's been saying recently. He's like, the players need rest. The players need rest. And he has the opportunity for rest, and he doesn't really take advantage of it to its fullest.
Yeah. I don't know.
The one good thing that came out of him playing who he played was Trent got to wear the armband for the first time in the Champions League. That was a really cool thing. Obviously, seeing his progression so far, this won't be the last time he wears that armband. But what did you guys just think about that for him, just being able to walk out Champions League in this boyhood club?
It's not the last time he's a future captain. Not the last time. When Hendo leaves, finally hangs up his boots as a legend. Trent then becomes captain, and that's what Klopp's preparing him for, because he's local boy through and through. He's the next captain.
I don't know if he's ready for it. I mean, Hendo's gonna retire maybe in the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
How long is Van Dijk gonna stay around? If Van Dijk's still around, I would give it to Van Dijk.
I think it'd be Trent.
You think?
I think, yeah, he's been groomed for it. Because
he doesn't really strike me as a leader. I mean, he's not even included in the top 4 captains, vice captains.
Not now, but in future.
I know he's still young. Still young. But
in future, because I think eventually one day he'll end up in midfield too. And that'll be his role, evolution going forward. But yeah, I thought it was really good that he's captain. It's a great experience for Trent, and he's going to be buzzing now. The fact that he was captain, his boyhood club. So yeah, it's well reserved, well rated. So yeah, I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I got similar feelings and emotions when I was in high school. I was the captain of my town team, and I can only imagine what it was like for him to captain Liverpool after just growing up there. It's got to be an unbelievable feeling.
There's a little humble brag there. Nice job, dude.
I was captain.
Yeah. A little humble brag. But yeah, I mean, looking at the rest of the squad, I kind of want to talk about some individual performances. Obviously, I mean, I guess we might as well start with the Mo Salah goal. I mean, hey, we finally started fast. Got a goal in the. I think technically it was the first minute. I think they labeled it as the second minute, but quickest goal I've seen in a long time. I mean, not much to it. Salah outran the guy, but honestly, I thought that goal was huge for the game, though. Just getting that behind, like making Midtjylland, they wanted to have some sort of performance today. So I thought that was a good start for us. And for Mo.
Yeah, I agree. It was, obviously it was a great start. Good movement from Mo. He looked hungry tonight. He looked like he's eager to score goals and get in behind the defense, make runs. And I thought that was also good because that made him like our top goal scorer in Champions League modern time history. So, that's also fantastic. You think of what Mo's done in 4 years of being at the club. It's fantastic. The guy's a legend already. He's breaking goal records. He broke Ronaldo's record from quickest goals recently in the Premiership. He doesn't get the credit he deserves from rivals, and you run out of stuff to think about Mo. Because he's just outstanding. The records speak for himself. And yeah, I hope this is now we see like a Mo run where he scores against Fulham, Spurs, Palace, and we just see not the Mo of 17-18. I don't think we'll ever see that version of Mo, but we'll see a Mo that's just banging goals regularly.
Do you think there's an agenda against him, Wahomie, against Mo? Because he doesn't get the recognition he deserves throughout Europe, I don't think.
Yeah, I think people don't like the fact because of. I think on one side they don't like the fact because he goes down easily, so a lot of people hate him for that. And obviously they protect.
So does Neymar, so does Raheem Sterling, so does Harry Kane. Like all these guys do.
Neymar gets a lot. Neymar gets slate, but Kane and Sterling don't because they're English. But that's why they hate. They want to hate on Salah for that, and then also I think it's jealousy as well, really, because they can. Kane. Salah's been better than Kane in his time in England. He's outscored him, out-assisted him this time in England. So I think it's just hate as well. And it's also with They don't want to give him the credit, especially Chelsea fans, because they're still bitter the fact they sold him.
So true.
Yeah, they're bitter the fact they sold him. So they'll say like someone like Hazard, who's not been better than Mo at all, even his time in England, and they'll say that rubbish just to wind us up. But that's it. It's just bitterness. But yeah, he's completely underrated, totally. But he's been the best striker in England since he's been here in England. There's no debating that. And best creator, because no one creates as many chances as him does.
Yeah, I think it's rightfully deserved. I mean, he's been the most clinical player that we've had in the Klopp era, not without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, he's changed the way this team attacks, definitely. When he came into the team in, I think it was 16-17. Was it 16-17 or 17-18? I think it was
17-18.
Oh, it was 17-18. I mean, it just our attack just changed completely. I mean, with Sadio Mane, it was one thing, but then with Mo Salah, it was completely different, and we were just heavy metal football at its finest. But I mean, the goal today, it wasn't the prettiest, but for me, it was like a typical Mo Salah goal. He just had the pace, beat the defender, and had a nice clinical finish at the end. So, I mean, that was just Mo Salah 101.
Yeah, it's nice to see him get back in the score sheet. I mean, especially with how Sadio Mane has been playing as of late going into this match. We need one of those guys, if not both of them, firing on all cylinders. And it seems like Salah's getting much closer to that, as well as Bobby Firmino. I mean, I know, again, he only played limited minutes today, but I thought when Bobby came on, he looked pretty solid. But
I think this is a hot take from Chris Welch here. Salah is the greatest right winger the Premier League's ever seen. Well, homie, do you agree with that?
Best right winger. I think so. He's done better than Ronaldo in his time, so he is the best. So I don't think there's any. Who else can you say really? That's
Hazard's on the left, so I can't say him. Henry when he played on the left.
Even goals and assists, Salah's done better than Hazard in his time in England. So and also. I was looking at the other day, they were talking about best goal scorers, that the fastest people to reach 250 goals. And Salah, the only reason why Salah wouldn't reach that is because he probably wouldn't be at Liverpool for that long. To be honest. I don't see Salah ending his career at Liverpool. But
ending his career at Liverpool?
No.
Yeah. When do you think he leaves? This year? Next year?
Maybe not this year. I think next year he's gone.
I think if we win the Champions League and the Premier League, I think he would leave this summer.
Could do, yeah. But I definitely feel it's one of these 2 seasons he's gone.
Maybe even one of them.
Yeah,
he's not. League, I could see him moving on.
Yeah, he's not going to. We're not his last club because he'll definitely want to go to Madrid or PSG or something. But I just feel like, but if he was to stay for like 5 years, he'd be up there with breaking the best goal score records of all time. But yeah, I definitely think he is. He is the best one. I can't think of anyone else who's done better than him in that time in the last 10 years, 20 years.
I definitely can't think of in the last 10 years, but that's pretty much. I mean, I've been watching for 15 years, so I've kind of reached my limit.
I can't think of anyone because you wouldn't say Ryan Giggs or Beckham. They didn't get her best.
No. Giggs? Beckham? No. He had some seasons where he scored like 2 goals.
Yeah, exactly. So you wouldn't say them.
No.
So who else is the right winger, really? He's done better than Ronaldo over the years.
Yeah. Ronaldo's the biggest name. He's the biggest one.
I can't think of anyone else. There's a massive winger or a forward in England that he's
thinking of winger. I mean, the only one I can think of is Hazard. He's Gareth Bale had a good run for a little while. He used the left side.
I think Salah was better than Bale. Bale didn't get as many goals as Salah's done, or assists.
But anyway, the other guy who started up top with Jota and Salah, Divock Origi, had a big chance to score. Again, movement was pretty poor. I mean, how is he still getting the run out?
He's got no choice.
Yeah, we have to put him out.
Yeah, I mean, unless he put like Stewart or one of the youngsters, which he didn't want to do, which he did put in the squad. He left them out of the squad, even though they were eligible. We had no choice to play Origi, but Origi's done. Time he needs to go. Like he could have touched that. I don't understand why he shot early. He touches it and then he scores. Yeah, I don't understand why he did that. And then he was awful. He was like, I don't. He looks like he can't be bothered. That's what he looks like. A man that can't be bothered. You know, he's not going to put in the full graft in. And I just think, yeah, I would let him go in January. To be honest, if we could get a buy or send him on loan, I'd let him go. Because I just don't see the point of him being here. He's just taking out wages.
Because we should have moved on from Divock Origi after we won the Champions League. I've been saying that all along. We should have. He basically won us. He basically won us the cup. He had an unbelievable performance, and I understand that I think he wanted to prove himself. I think we thought that he has a place in the squad now. But that next season he still didn't really do much. I think he got off to a good start, but after that I think he may have picked up an injury and then couldn't really recover. So I mean, if we didn't sign Diogo Jota this summer, we would have big problems up front. Big problems. Because he is not reliable up top anymore.
No, he's not.
But he is a club legend. Let me say that.
Yeah,
he's a club
legend. He's won the league, Champions League, legend. No doubt about that. He scored some important goals last year that helped us win the league. If he didn't score those goals.
Our man Chris.
Yeah, but he needs to. As Chris is saying, it pains us to say it, but it's time for the man to move on. Like this January, I'd not wait for the summer. Just move him on this January. Let him go on loan. Because we don't need him now. When I offered the knockout stage of the Champions League, we don't need to. He's not going to play any games now, so we don't need him. It's time for him to move on, new pastures.
Yeah, and when is he going to play in the FA Cup? I mean, it's not worth it for us to play him there, and it's not worth it for him. He just needs to move on. I think he should go to Italy. That's where I think he should go. Go play in Italy, and look how much better Romeo Lukaku is doing over in Italy. Divock Origi, maybe he can do it as well.
Lucas Leiva is still one of the best center mids in that league right now. Lucas Leiva, he was washed up with us like 2 years ago. Like, come on.
I think he can play them.
Yeah, I think he would. I think look, if Origi went to Italy or Germany, he could be a good centre forward because he's got pace, he's got power, and he can score goals. And I think a new move would give him that new motivation. So I definitely think, for his career, he needs to move on.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think he's just way too comfortable here, and he just doesn't have the same hunger and doesn't work as hard anymore. I think that's pretty apparent. Like his movement is incredibly lackluster. It looks like he's moving at 80% speed all the time, and then and then all of a sudden, like right around the net, he's just lost that like really killer finishing ability that he had. So, hey, thanks for the memories. Like, thanks for everything you've done, and like no hard feelings. But it's just like I think it's better for both of us if we move on at that point. So,
yeah, agreed.
But anyway, moving on. Let's talk about Fabinho. Man, this guy's incredible. I mean, another goal line clearance in the Champions League. That was an awesome play.
Yeah, he's for me, he's the best center back in the Premier League right now because Van Dijk is injured. But I mean, I think he's even better than Gomez. I think he's better than Matip. His positional awareness is probably top drawer. He's long like Matip is. He can kind of they're the two longest center backs in the league as well. I mean, maybe even in the world. They're just so long. They can get around any defender with their legs. It's insane. But no, I mean it's not a coincidence that every time Fabinho plays, we seem to get a clean sheet. And looking at today, once he went off, that's when we started to see some real problems in the second half, and that's when they got their goal.
Yeah, I mean, what can you more say about Fabinho? Like the man's world class DM, world class centre back, and even at right back, he was top class at Monaco. So
does he start in Brazil? I don't think he does.
Not anymore because he doesn't get the squad anymore in that sense. But he used to play. He's played over like 60 games for Brazil at right back.
Yeah.
When he first joined us, he was playing right back for them. So,
but they played the guy at Real Madrid over him at center defensive mid, right?
Yeah, Casemiro plays over him.
Casemiro. Yeah.
Then they were playing. They were playing some other right back ahead of him as well. That's why he's not in the squad anymore. I can't remember his name. But yeah, he can play all those positions in top class. And the goal line clearance again just showed like great reading of the game, positioning, and with him there, you've got confidence in the fact that that we're strong at defense. And I put a stat the other day that's saying that a lot of media keep going on about our defense, saying we're defensively weak this year. And that's not, look, if you take away the 6 goals or the 7 goals we conceded with Villa,
Yeah.
that aside, we've conceded 4 goals in the space of 8 games.
I would say as of late, our defense has been our strength.
Exactly, and we look at it. The teams we played as well. The amount of goals we conceded is really low. So and the fact we kept clean sheets against Atletico and against the Wolves and Leicester again shows the strength in our defense now. So our defense is just as good as, and also the amount of shots we face is as good as Chelsea's and Tottenham's. So, and that's the strength to people like Fabinho and Matip who've been outstanding. So, as long as we keep them fit, we've got a good chance of going far in both the Champions League and the league. But just keep them fit. But yeah, just like Fabinho, just week in, week out, putting in world-class performances.
Yeah, I'm curious what they're going to do over this next few stretch of these next 3 games, because how are you going to manage Matip? Because like you have been saying all along, Wahomien, and you've been right about it, Matip can't play 3 games in a row, especially maybe within 10 days of each other. I'm just curious, are you going to squeeze in Nat Phillips at some point? Are you going to squeeze in Reece Williams? I mean, what's going to happen? I have no idea, because we can't risk Matip if we want to have an extended run in the Champions League and in the Premier League.
I reckon tonight showed what he's going to do. I think this weekend against Fulham, it'll be Matip and Phillips, then Fabinho and Matip against Spurs, and then on the weekend he'll play against the Palace. He'll play one of Phillips and probably Fabinho again. Yeah, and that's how I do it.
So you'd pick Phillips over Reece Williams
for Palace, yeah, because Palace are going to they play best wide and Benteke. That's all just height, So they're not going to be playing football on the floor. It's going to be crossed in the box, and Phillips is better than that from Reece Williams. Fulham, again as well. I think Fulham are a height team in terms of what they do. So it's not like Williams is good if you're playing a team that's going to play football. They're going to play football with the ball that's pacey. He's that. But I think if you're playing a height, I'd play Phillips over him.
Yeah, I think Phillips has that aggression factor as well. He has that intensity for the Premier League. Every time he's been out there, he's hell bent on not losing the ball or not allowing a man by him. And sometimes with Reece, he has the poise of a great defender for sure. He has the confidence. I think he's going to be a great understudy to Van Dijk. They actually have a lot of similarities when you watch their games. They just have such a calm demeanor, which definitely has a trickle effect along the other members of the team. But Nat is his intensity is just through the roof. And I think if he can stay focused and keep that positional awareness that we're always talking about, I think he's the one you have to choose over Reece, So, I mean, we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest storyline to watch, I think, in the next 7 to 10 days is how he wants to go with those center-back partnerships. But
Henry's saying Fulham, Phillips, and Fabinho. And then for Spurs, Fabinho and Matip. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that.
Yeah. Some sort of combination like that. As long as it's Fabinho and Matip for Spurs, that's really the only thing that makes sense. But kind of going back to the game, I thought the midfield was an interesting choice with Clarkson, Keita, and I think technically it was it Jota and Minamino in that spot. But, I mean, they kind of all rotated, I felt like, the front four. But what did you guys think of how Keita played coming back from injury and the young guy Clarkson getting some minutes?
With Keita, I was disappointed in him. I don't think he was that great tonight. I know he just came back from injury, but I just he felt like on the peripheral of the game. Like I didn't see, like, compared to how he played against Leicester before he got injured against Leicester, when he was aggressive, he was dictating the game in the play, getting involved. I don't think like he was that good tonight. And I think that's probably why Klopp took him off. I know he might be getting minutes, but he didn't give him the full 90. Probably took him off.
He's protecting him, man. He's protecting him. He was. I mean, I wish he could go 90, but I'm glad he didn't. I didn't even think he should have played. He should have just kept him out because it's not worth it, especially in a game like this.
And plus, he should have. I think he should have scored that chance he had
Yeah, it was a good opportunity.
Either side of the keeper, it's a goal. He shot straight at the keeper. So, but yeah, I didn't think he was that great. With Clarkson, I thought Clarkson was really good. I was just thinking some stats. He got 10 ball recoveries.
His stats weren't that great.
He got 10 ball recoveries, Clarkson, the most of the game.
Clarkson?
I thought he was the best midfielder.
Yeah, the stats said out of anyone on the pitch, he had the most ball recoveries, which was 10. Someone tweeted it earlier on.
But yeah, no, I thought he looked good.
I'm seeing he had ground duels. He had 4, and he didn't win any. His passing was 72%. But no, I mean, regardless, I thought he looked the part. I think he reminds me of Billy Gilmore a little bit. The way he moves, similar stature. What's TV?
Whatever. I'm tired of hearing about Chelsea fans talk about Billy Gilmore, and he just hasn't played at all this season. I'm just like,
he's a good player. Going back to Keita, I mean, I hate making excuses for the guy. It's his 3rd year. We need to stop making excuses for him. This is my last excuse. Different midfield trio. You know, you had a kid, Clarkson, who's never played in the Champions League before. You had Keita coming off of injury. You have Minamino. It was his 2nd time playing in that position, and I thought Minamino actually was okay. He was lively in there, but Keita needs to do better. We need to stop making excuses for him. He's facing a tough midfield to get into it week in, week out. So I think he needs to start bringing it every single game. Otherwise, he's just going to be a substitute in the 75th, 80th minute for each of these games.
Well, I agree with Henry's saying here that Keita needs fitness, which is probably true. Like he is slow when he comes back from injury. Like he's not normally someone that kicks the ball running when he comes with injury. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but he can play better because we saw it against Leicester. So tonight wasn't his night. And yeah, just the less said about him, the better for tonight. Even with Minamino, he looks busy, Minamino. He's not doing anything to really influence the game for me.
He doesn't do anything. He runs around and has no impact. It's so
weird. That's what I'm saying, lads. I was thinking like he looks like he's busy because you look at him, you see him running around and stuff, like he's getting involved, touching and stuff.
Hair's going everywhere.
Yeah.
Like running around.
He looks great.
He has no impact in the game. And I was just thinking, like, again, like, it's flattening to deceive, and I think, like, I don't know. I think I'll say, sorry, before I'll let you say something. I think he needs to put on muscle. He needs to go in the gym and put on some muscle, because he looks really easily pushed off the ball and he's got no body strength. So I think, like, he needs to hit the gym. He needs to go on the Bayern diet and build some muscle up and come back.
To piggyback off that point, Wahomie, I'm looking at his stats right now. Ground duels, he had 13. He only won 4 of them. And that tells me exactly what you just said. Like, he has no body weight. He needs to get into the gym. I would say the same thing about Reece Williams, but get the kid in the weight room. he definitely needs it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, his movement's great, and it looks great when he's moving. But yeah, he's not influencing the game. He's not impacting the game like we saw him do against us. I've still been waiting. He's really only had one game this season where I thought his link-up play was good, and that was when he played next to Jota. So that's why I was a little bit surprised again today, where I was expecting to see a little bit more out of it. Again, maybe it had something to do with a lot of rotation, like having Divock Origi walk around the pitch and then have guys behind him. It can be tough. Look at you cracking a beverage over there.
I will say though, Taki was only £7 million. Keita was 52. So it's easy to make an excuse for Taki, but Keita, it's.
I don't know. I think with Taki, and the more and more I think about it, I think he was bought for Asian market.
I'm sure it was a lot of those. All the above.
Yeah, but I don't know. With Keita, believe me, I'm not like I don't go out of my way to defend Keita all the time. But like I actually agree with Henry. I think this was more important for him just to get a run out there and be like, okay, that's step 1, get a run out there. Now it's step 2. Can you get a constant run out there, stay healthy enough to do that and contribute? That's the next step. So hopefully you can take it.
Gaurav agrees. We need to get Clarkson and Reece in the weight room too.
Yep, 100%. But what did you guys think about the penalty incident because it really aggravates the crap out of me. Like, at first we thought I was offsides, and they said a handball on Mane. Again, just asking for a little bit of consistency. I mean, again, if the game mattered, I'd probably care more. But since the game didn't matter, I'm not going to put up a huge fuss. But just asking for consistency with VAR. It's just getting really annoying. And the fact that we had to have +8 because 3 different VAR things took that long, absolutely ridiculous. Cleaning it up. It's starting to turn into American football.
Yeah, I agree. No, I'm surprised because I thought in Europe the referees were supposed to be normally good on a whole, but I think they made a cock up today. So it's just VAR. We'll just keep getting screwed over by VAR, and that's what it is.
Did you think it was a penalty?
I've seen him give in, but I think it's.
I thought it was. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. It's.
I've seen him give in, but who knows? Nah. But yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a foul on Kelleher. I think that part's undeniable. I just don't understand the handball. If anything, I thought it was a handball on the defender. I couldn't tell that it hit Mane's hand. Maybe I'm wrong, but either way, just another game, another VAR mention. But hey, man, I thought again, Kelleher's got that number 2 spot. Again, made some awesome saves today. Looks really comfortable and composed back there. I mean, outside of that PK, but I don't think he could have done much more on that. I mean, what do you guys think of his performance? And overall, what's your confidence level in having a guy like him as a number 2 going forward?
Yeah, I think he's definitely my number 2. Definitely, I think Adrian's done at the club. He needs to go in the summer. He's finished. Yeah, Kelleher keeps impressing. He's a really confident lad. You can see it in the interviews. I think today he made some good saves, good distribution, and also it's difficult as well because obviously, he's not playing with the best team again. So, in terms of like his performance compared to how it was against Wolves, he's not playing with the same kind of mixture of teams, so it's different. So he's got a lot more responsibilities to do today because he's got Reece Williams in front of him. He's got Tsimikas. So for what he did today, I thought it was good, with a much changed team. So, obviously today's going to be his last game. But yeah, I think he's doing really good. So he needs to keep it up.
How old is he?
22.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I mean, I actually thought his distribution was a little off today. I saw he had like 62% passing compared to the last few games. I think it was much higher than that. But yeah, I mean, he just oozes confidence. He has that demeanor that we've been talking about, that Allison brings, that Van Dijk brings. He's just very calm back there. He appears to be vocal as well. He's not afraid to run outside the 6-yard box and gather a ball. I think he punched some guy in the face today. So I mean, he's definitely the backup going forward. I mean, I feel bad saying it, but Adrian's gone for sure.
I don't feel bad saying it. I mean, nothing against that. Nothing against him. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's done a lot of positive things. Yeah, some negative too. But I mean, that's just you did your job, and now it's time to let somebody else do theirs. So thanks. Now his role is different. Now his role is just being the comic relief in the background. So I think he could be pretty good at that. Before we get to the knockout stages, something I was just kind of frustrated about when I just saw the end of the game was the Tsimikas thing. Looks like he might have a little bit of a knock, might have an injury. Just really frustrating. I thought, again, he's only had a couple chances and he has not made the most out of them. And now getting this knock, probably going to be out for a little bit. Again, Robinson got some rest, much needed rest. So we're probably going to be leaning on him like we always do. But still just frustrated. I thought he was going to have more of an impact than what he did.
Yeah, I think with Tsimikas, it's going to take him time. It took Robert 6 months. So when he first joined, it's going to take him time. Probably might not see the best of Tsimikas until next season. Once he gets used to the culture, style of play. I still think he needs to learn the tactical side of the game. Know when to run, know when to press, defend. And also he's not played the best team yet. So I think he's been playing with like mismatched teams, so I don't think you'll probably see the best of him until he gets a game with, Fabinho, Matip, Trent, Hendo, Ginny, that kind of team ahead of him. So he's not had that yet. So I think it's difficult to come in when you're playing in the kind of the B team. Expecting to then produce we've seen flashes of it, like in the odd games where he's putting good crosses in, but it's just going to take him time. And obviously this injury is not going to help. We don't know. I don't know how. What was it? I know. What was? Is it hamstring or something?
It looked like his ankle. I thought his right ankle. Yeah, I didn't. I don't think it was his hamstring. Luckily, because hamstrings can be, a nagging injury. But no, I completely agree. I think it's kind of like another situation with Taki Minamino. They get very few opportunities to make an impression with the first team, if any. And when they are called upon, it's with 18 and 19-year-olds who don't have any experience at all. Tsimikas was playing in the Champions League last year for Olympiacos, so he definitely has that merit and that quality. But I think you're right, Wahome. I think he just needs to figure it out with this team. Hopefully he can stay healthy. He needs to figure out the language. I think he has the language down pretty well, but just coming into a different country, new squad, definitely has its impact. So I would expect him once he gets fit to be that proper deputy to Robertson, because we definitely need him, and he's definitely shown quality. He's a whip of a left foot. He can get up and down the pitch. He can beat a man. And I think seems to be a proper defender as well. He's definitely saved us some goals already. So, we'll see. He's still young. I think he's 23, 24. So,
yeah, we just need that backup left footer, left back. We've seen it with Milner in the past. It just does not work when you don't have that ability on the left side in our system. So I definitely think that we need him. So as long as he can get healthy, and then just get a string of just training with the team will be very beneficial for him too. So long term, I'm not worried about it. But again, now it's just okay. If anything ever happens to Robertson, now that's a whole other problem that we have. So there's something to keep an eye on. But let's get to the fun stuff. Now that we're in the knockout stage, we have the list of potential people that we could be playing. So the list of potential opponents in the knockout round, we have Leipzig, Lazio, Barcelona, Sevilla, Atletico, I forget, Borussia,
Gladbach.
I'm just say Gladbach, yeah, and then Porto. So I don't know who I would prefer to see. To be honest, I don't really care who we see. I think we are better than every single one of these teams, and I think we have enough ability to get over any of them. But what do you guys think? Who would you give me a top 2 teams that you'd want to face?
Well, for me, I want Atletico. To be honest, I want revenge. And I think Thiago's back in January. He's going to be fit well in time because the knockout stages aren't going to be till February. So he'll get at least a good month of football. I want them, to be honest. Kick him out, get revenge. And if not them, then Barcelona. Because I think Barcelona is shambles now. And then I'd love nothing more for the banter, just to smash them again. And I think going with a draw for us, I don't think we're going to get someone easy. We always get someone hard. So last year we had quarterfinals.
Atletico we had last year.
Yeah, last year quarterfinals even before Bayern Munich. We're going to get someone hard. We always do. So I reckon it'd be that. Obviously, ideally, you'd want, if you're picking someone, the easiest one, probably Porto.
But it's only one game, though, right, Wahome? It's only one game.
No, that's until I think that's the next round.
What?
Let me double check that.
I'm not sure, because I thought I read somewhere that it was only a one match at a neutral site, like the end of last year for the Champions League. But I will say, I disagree with you. That's the one team I don't want to play. I do not want to play. I don't want Suarez, Diego Costa, and all those, Atletico Madrid players rolling around on the pitch again. It gets under my skin. It gets under the player's skin. And while I would want revenge, not in the first round. Let's get it maybe in the quarterfinals when it it's a big match. I wouldn't want to play Leipzig I think Leipzig could definitely hurt us without Van Dijk and Gomez. But I mean, none of these teams really scare me. Is the point? Barcelona, I would love to play Barcelona. I think we would tear them a new one. Porto is obviously the easy choice. Lazio would like to see Lucas Leiva again. Sevilla, yeah, I don't really know too much about Sevilla this year. I don't think they're doing that well, but yeah.
No, it looks like it says here the first round of 16 legs are scheduled for the 16th or 17th, with the second legs on 9th to 10th. So it's 2 legs.
There's 2 legs. Okay.
Oh, it is 2 legs.
Oh. I think the draw. I think it's for the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and final, which is 1-legged ties. But the round 16 is 2 legs.
Oh, okay. Well, that changes things.
Yeah, I think for me, I'd want to face Lazio just because I'd love to. I think we beat them handily. I don't really Italian teams. I think they're all pretty soft, to be honest. But no, I just love to have Lucas Leiva back. I think it'd be really cool to have him around Klopp. See him play. So, and Pepe Reina's the goalie, so I think that'd be pretty cool too. I'd love Lazio would be my number 1 choice, and then otherwise, yeah, probably Porto would be my number 2, just because I feel like we have to have one gift around every year as well, and it's usually always we get Porto for that, so that'd be fun.
Chris is saying he wants to avoid Atletico, not because of last season. They've always been our nemesis in Europe, Champions League or Europa League. He wants to play Porto.
Thiago's a difference maker. We signed Thiago because he destroyed low blocks in the past. He does it for breakfast. He destroyed PSG, Barcelona, Chelsea twice last year, Lyon. Difference maker.
Yeah, but is he going to be fit for February?
Yes.
We don't know.
I believe he will. They said January he's back.
Yeah, he better be, but who the hell knows? They've been saying a few weeks. They've been saying that since October. Come on.
I have hope he's back in. So if he's back in January, do you believe would you be bothered with Atletico if he's back in January?
I would be more comfortable, if Thiago is fit. Yes, I would be more comfortable facing Atletico.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
obviously, if we don't have Thiago, I wouldn't have now.
If Thiago is fit, I would put us up against any team in the world, even without Van Dijk. I would just give us Thiago and the rest of the team, and I'd take us against anybody. No questions.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah, me too. So yeah, obviously, but I think he will be back. I'm positive he will be back in January.
The one thing I want to say about a potential matchup, I don't want to see Atletico or Barcelona, not because I don't think we can beat them, and I would love the banter too, but I just hate watching those games because of, like Andrew said, how they like to play. They flop, roll around on the ground, they're down the ground for 10 minutes, and
ruins the game.
Running perfectly fine, and I hate playing against it. I hate watching it. I hate being a part of it. I hate when the referees give into it. And those are typically the matches when I drink a lot and yell at the TV, and I don't want to do that. So
that's every match.
Well, positive as well is that, as someone said as well, that Chelsea and Man City can also get the same teams that we can, which is positive.
Yeah.
So they will
that we avoid Real Madrid, who I'm actually not really afraid of, but we also avoid Bayern Munich. That's huge.
Yeah. No Bayern is clutch, but that's
a team final.
That'd be a great final.
That would be awesome. That'd be awesome to have that final. But we'll see what happens. I think the draw's next week or the week after, so we'll see what happens with that.
Could you imagine seeing Thiago against Kimmich? That would be awesome. Must see television.
Yeah.
Monday the 14th to draw this Monday.
All right, a few days away. So
12 o'clock.
We'll be back.
Yeah, 12 o'clock CST.
12 o'clock. All right, so we'll be back before that, actually, probably Friday night for the pregame Fulham conversation. Make sure you tune into that. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Tell your friends to tune in. We have a bunch of fun doing this for you guys. The live chats have been awesome, so thank you all for tuning into that. Otherwise, up the Reds, and we will see.
About the water bottle before we go, Stevie.
Yeah, the water bottle competition. So if you have Twitter, make sure you jump on. We're giving away 2 ice shaker water bottles with the Yanks of the Cup lasered logo into it. It's a really awesome water bottle. Looks awesome. Looks beautiful. all you have to do is just retweet our tweet and subscribe to us on this channel. So make sure you do that. Tell your friends to do that. We'd love to be able to give away more stuff in the future. So and we'll be making the announcement for the Fulham match. So a couple days away. So get your name in if you haven't yet. But otherwise, up to Reds, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
All the Reds.